We shape our buildings. The buildings equally shape us. My understanding of this statement implies that the quality of your life is greatly influenced by the facilities around you. In other words, if you build or construct structures in wrong places or use substandard designs and materials, you will bear the brunt of your handiwork. Indeed, building collapse, impact of flooding, and many other disasters due to poor structural construction or structural defects are stories many will want to forget in a hurry. But the pains sometimes do stay longer and even forever for some. On the spot this week, we'll focus on getting it right in the building and construction industry to improve living standards of Nigerians. I am Joseph Wotan. Welcome to the program. My guest is a professor of civil engineering. He holds a Bachelor of Engineering, Civil Engineering from Abuja Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi State. A Master of Science in the same field from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering Structures. His working career started at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, as a graduate assistant in Civil Engineering Department, where he rose through the ranks to the level of Professor of Civil Engineering, specializing in structures. He is a registered engineer with Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, and a member of many other professional bodies, including the Nigerian Institute of Engineering Management and fellow Nigerian Institute of Civil Engineering. My guest has, to his credit, over 80 research publications in local and international journals, as well as technical reports. He taught in the university for about 26 years before moving to Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute as Director of Research, where he will work his way to the top. On the spot is the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, Professor Samson Duna. Nice to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Okay, my understanding here is that your institute, you get in research, consultancy, building, roads, and other structures. If you look at stories that have made headlines in recent times, building collapse, they have been on the increase. Do you feel any sense of responsibility regarding this in any way?
Thank you very much for coming up with the topic building collapse, because I've spoken to different media with respect to the topic of building collapse. I always start by commiserating with people that lost their lives as a result of an ugly incident that could have been avoided, that could have been minimized, or even struck out completely. Building collapse is man-made error, which I know is artificial. And if the right person who knows what to do is placed at that location and knows what to do, building collapse will be things of the past. After commiserating with that, you ask whether we have responsibility or not with respect to the issue at stake. NIBRI is referred to as Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute. We are a research institute that carry out research in area of building and road. What we do is like an investigation. When someone is carrying out research, is trying to study, to identify, to improve on equality, to see if we can add value to what is existing in the system. When we carry out research, we distribute those information to relevant stakeholders, people that are in the stakeholder, people that are working in that field, with the view to see if they can adopt the outcome of our research. We have carried out quite a lot of research, especially that to do with building collapse. There is no building collapse that occurs in Nigeria without NIBRI going there and carrying out a research. But our mandate as a research institute, we don't have that power to arrest. There is a body that can arrest and take somebody to court and punish them. For us, we is to identify a problem and provide a solution to see if that solution can be adopted and used in order to add value to a system. So you can see from our mandate, we cannot arrest, but we can create awareness and see if this awareness is adopted so that future occurrence cannot occur. We have studied building collapse, and we can summarize building collapse to about 7 points. What causes it? Which area can government put in its effort to see that the issue of building collapse is become things of the past? The first thing is for you to identify locations where you are going to erect your structure. Take a visit to where you want to erect your structure. See to it what and what is there. How is the topography of the land like? After that, you go for what we call geotechnical investigation. Identify the strength of the soil, types of soil, classify this your soil. What is the strength that this soil can carry? How many story buildings can be able to erect, can you erect on that type of soil? Someone can sit down in Lagos and you'll be given a design in Sokoto, or he is in Maiduguri giving a design in Lagos. All he will be calling you is that, what is the bearing capacity of the soil? I've given a 3-story building, let me design. He take a rough estimate of a value and start designing, not even visiting the site for once. And you ended up designing a structure. Normally, when there's a problem, you have not been there. You use theoretical value to come up with a design, which is not supposed to. Apart from that, the next issue is issue of design. This is where many problem comes in. There are a lot of people that are not supposed to design. Most of our structures is using experience to bring up with it. What does design implies? Design implies bringing out the output parameters for a system. What is the thickness? What is the number of steel? What is the diameter of steel? What is the type of steel to be used? What are the spacings of the steel to be placed in position so that the load expected on a structure can be able to carry it? So if your design is properly done, somebody who is versatile in that field should be able to check to see if your design done is correctly. After that design, somebody needs to erect it. You need to construct your design to be standing. In the process of construction, people should come and supervise you. Am I using the same material? Am I using the standard specification? What will be the design? Am I following it properly? And so on and so forth. After that, myself being the human factor, I'm the one doing the design. Am I competent to do that? Am I professionally registered with a body that is overseeing what I'm doing? For how long have I gone for a refresher course? For the fact that what I learned before, is it what is on vogue? And so on and so forth. So there is the need for training of personnel involved from time to time. The use of substandard material comes in. What are the materials am I using? Are they standard? For instance, steel. Am I the one producing steel? No. I go to the market and buy steel as a final product. Who are the professional body responsible to ensure that the standard quality of steel that is sold in the market meet up the standard specification? We say Standard Organization of Nigeria. Are they doing the right thing? Are they supposed to be pursuing substandard material in the market, or are they supposed to be on the port, ensuring that at the point of entry they stop what is inferior? So you can see the problem is enormous. And the next thing is that, do people come from the client or from the consultant or the professional, but do they come from time to time to see that there are professionals that are there? For instance, I'm a current registered engineer. I pay registration fee every year. But at the point of my practice, do people come to supervise what I'm doing, whether I'm doing the right thing? So you can see all these steps are steps that lead to building failure. If your technical investigation is not carried out properly, you discover that you end up on building failure. If substandard material is used, we end up in building failure. If material is not meeting up the standard specification, you end up building collapse, building failure. If the required material is not designed properly, For instance, where you are expected to use 10-story building, someone will come and tell you that the soil is strong enough. Please, you can go up to maximize profit. You go to 14-story buildings. The building was designed for 10-story. You are going to 14. What are we talking about? And nobody is there. There should be a law to check all these things. People that are expected to do the checking are not professionally sound to do the job. So you can see building collapse is so wide. Yeah. Government need to look at how to dip it at the point at the right in time. That's the best thing to tell you about that.
Okay, you sound very concerned. Actually, anybody who have witnessed the kind of disaster we have been witnessing, seeing in recent time, we're very concerned, just as you are. Now, when you talked about making recommendations. At the end of the day, it's like you have little you can do after making recommendations. But from what you have been seeing, do you in a way get back to some of the bodies that you make these recommendations to see whether they following what you have been telling them? Are they following the recommendations that you've been making?
Yes, I don't want to make like a point of a case history. As I mentioned earlier, there is no building collapse that occur in Nigeria that NIBRI have not gone there to carry out investigation. In most of our investigation, we discover 4 prominent reasons why building collapse. First is maximizing of profit from either the client or the contractor. A client might not be knowledgeable with what is going on. A contractor who happens to be the representative of the client in constructing, he tried to maximize profit. Sometimes they will tell you that the story building, I can add more floors to it. It's designed for 5 or 6 stories. You are adding 3 stories on top. It will surely collapse because the members are not designed to carry out such a load. So in all our findings, we come up with strong recommendations. We send the recommendations to relevant ministry. We send recommendations to professional bodies. We send recommendations to professional affiliations, and so on and so forth. Those are bodies that the government has identified. Like Koren, they are supposed to be the body that will take you to court. They can charge you with negligence as far as responsibility is concerned. They can charge their staff, because every year Koren is expected to give you a certificate of license to practice. As an engineer, you cannot practice without that. In architect, we have Archon. In builders, we have Cobon. All these are professional, Top Rec and others. These are professional bodies that regulates their own staff as far as that profession is concerned. So I'm making emphasis to Koren because I'm an engineer. That's why I'm. But Cobon deals with building, Archon, and so on and so forth. If their professional member is found wanting, they can take him to court. They can suspend his license, and so on and so forth. So you can see there's the body that regulates even the professionals in the construction industry. And if everybody plays his role very well, I'm sure this issue will be of the past. But the problem that you see a structure collapsing, a building collapsing, go there on the profile of the company, you see lists of engineers, lists of architects, lists of builders. But if you look at the people practicing, the people doing the actual construction, none of them is a professional in that professional body. They're all quackery. Do you understand? On the profile, when the contractor is looking for the job, he's bidding for the job, he has lists of qualified professionals. Yeah. At the point of implementation, none of the professionals will be found in that list.
So with that now, would you say, if you look at some of what we're experiencing, will you now say that the engineering profession is failing Nigerians? Because some of these structures now, a lot of people talk about this issue of hiring foreign expatriates and all this, and most of these companies that are developing all over constructing roads, there's a particular road, even though I'm not a professional, when they were constructing that road, I said, no.
It will surely fail.
This one is,
it's not standard. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it didn't reach a month.
And it fails.
A heavy truck was just moving. The road, I don't know, the road just slide up.
Okay. Let me tell you.
The professional bodies that are involved and the Nigerian engineers, who many are making a case for, give them the chance.
Okay.
Are they failing Nigerians?
A real professional engineer is not failing Nigerian. Let me tell you, road has been used as a political weapon as far as
But
politics
you
is
just talked about when you go to a particular site, you see the profile of the
Yes.
organization. You see a lot of engineers whose names are there.
Yes.
Professional engineers whose names are there.
Yes.
But the people executing
They are not.
are not there.
The
So
people,
why do you allow your name to be on the company's profile, and you're not really executing?
okay.
You should be held responsible
I
too.
totally agree with you. But the problem is that I might be ignorant that my name is there even. People use it to get the job. So if I were you, at the point of bidding of these documents, there should be a parade of professionals that their names are there. Somebody will claim that he has so number of equipment, so number of machines, but when you go there, they are not there. The machines are not there. The personnel there are fake. They use names of their friends and just place their profile there. They are not engineers. They are not carbon registered. And you see the structure going on without even a single technical person. Let me come back to your question. I told you that roads and if some infrastructures are used as a political weapon. I know a chief executive, a governor. He came and said he doesn't want anything. The highest he can give for that road is 500 million. And the road is about, can I say about 5 kilometers or so. He doesn't want no, so take this 500 million, go and do it, no matter what is it. Create a road for me. I'm going there for campaign in the next 2-3 months. Create a road, I need this road to be done. Whether the road is costed properly, whether it's qualitative or not. And another impression we have is that we tend to give respect more to foreign professional counterparts as compared to Nigerian counterparts. When you see somebody coming from outside the country, you tend to give him more regard than somebody. I know a job that is quoted, Nigerian engineers quoted this number of jobs. Nigerian, I don't want to use the word engineer. Nigerian companies quoted for this. Why a foreign expert quoted 3 or 4 times of that job? They gave it to the foreign. And at the detriment of giving it to Nigerian. Thank God, Prof, our former President Muhammadu Buhari, signed Presidential Order Number 5, which encouraged the local content to be patronized as much as possible. I believe if that Presidential Order Number 5 is put into use, I'm sure the engineers and the other companies that are Nigerians will have a level playing ground with their colleagues. If money spent on foreign companies are spent in Nigerian companies, I want to assure you that Nigerian companies are still good. It's the same brain, it's the same competency, it's the same technical ability to do the right thing. Nigerian engineers, Nigerian professionals, Nigerian builders, Nigerian architects are totally good, and I believe they can deliver. Again, coming back to the issue of the road of a thing, as I mentioned, you don't expect to give, road is capital intensive. You don't expect to restrict road and give him a distance, not minding the features and expect the quality of road. It's not done that way. Roads are made up of different components. The sub-base, the base material, the MC1, the pavement, wearing costs and the traffic costs, and all these things make up a road. You cannot jump each of these things. Either you have a drain or you have what type of drain to drain road, and a road that has shoulder. You must follow these patterns to ensure that a road will last. If you decide to construct a road without drainage, what are we talking about? Where would the excess runoff run to? You decide to construct a road without compacting the sub-base and the base material. How do you expect the pavement to lie on the sub-base material that is good? Road is a construction process. A process not to be carried out adequately before the next process is carried out. As long as it is not done, you don't expect your infrastructure to last long.
Okay. Collaboration. You do a lot in terms of research, and you're ready to provide the consultancy. Most of the bodies that you make recommendations to, how much of this collaboration are you getting with other relevant agencies to ensure that the quality of work is maintained in this country?
You see, when I came in, I discovered that,
Because you can't just do, for us to have a better,
and,
listen, you have to have collaboration.
I agree.
Many need to know that they need to send people to your institute to gain more knowledge
I agree.
and all that in terms of building the professionalism.
You see, as at present, we have 3 research topics we are working on now. I have to send about 5 different or 6 different agencies to be part of the study we are doing in form of collaboration. I've just finished this meeting this morning. It is effect of flood on infrastructure. Every year we have flood, and this flood tends to be stagnant on road pavements. We always say, what will be the effect of this flood that has been stagnant for 2 weeks on the pavement of the road? So the idea basically is to see to it that this road, after the flood has subsided, how reliable is this road again for it to be used? So I send invitation to NIMET, I send it to NILES, to NAIGE, to NASDA, to NITT. These are different agencies and Federal Ministry of Works with FEMA. The central representative, we are forming a team, and we are working hard to see that we bring out the effect of the flood on infrastructure. And if this result is successfully, we are going to travel and send this report to all these agencies where we had collaboration. We did one again in terms of bituminous material. When you go to Ondo, you discover that we have natural deposit of tar sand. And this tar sand is serving as like an alternative to bitumen. You agree with me that our refineries are not working. We are importing refined fuel. All the products that come from distillation of crude oil is no longer there. So even bitumen, we are importing bitumen, costing us millions of naira. So we understand the deposit of tar sand. We felt if we can use this tar sand to construct roads, it will be beneficial to the entire country, which will serve as an alternative to bitumen. We have gone far. We brought people from different agencies. We went up to construct a virgin road. We use it to patch some of our potholes. And the result is promising as I'm talking to you. And we have now did a study comprising of people from the university, people from FEMA, people from Federal Ministry of Works, to identify causes of failure of roads leading to Gombe State. Last year alone, 4 of the major roads leading to Gombe State, all of them cut off failed. Now we have set up a team comprising of people from the university. It is said that a very strong committee headed by Professor Alade Slim Matawal, one of an experienced civil engineer, with people from NIBRI, from people with Federal Ministry of Works, people from FEMA, and they have worked, they have just submitted a report. We've been doing collaborative study, especially in the area of research, and we intend to share the outcome of these research findings to agencies that we have collaboration with, and it's left for them to look at areas that concern them to see if they can implement our recommendations.
Just let me take this last one. In terms of housing deficit, Nigeria is having a huge housing deficit, and then we are so used to this constructing huge structures with very expensive materials. Have you thought of maybe issue of constructing smaller houses with a little bit of cheaper materials but will still last long, kind of designing this for Nigerians so that that will help bridge the gap of housing deficit?
I think I'm privileged to have presented more than 5 different papers at different fora with respect to use of affordable building construction materials to construct buildings that is friendly using local content as much as possible. The issue of building has become more or less a tourist center. You can spend big money to construct big houses. People go there to pay to watch. When you go to Kigali, come and see beautiful, simple houses using purely local content they build. We can still do it in Nigeria. NIBRI, for instance, has developed quite a lot of alternative building materials. We use what we call compressed earth blocks, using purely local content of laterite with 5 to 10% of cement. Even the machine for the fabrication, we fabricated it in NIBRI. We produce what we call compressed earth blocks. These are blocks that is friendly. During cold weather, when you go in, the room is warmer. During warm weather, when you go in, it is cooler. It regulates the temperature of the environment. And you don't even put mortar to build. The cost of mortar is eliminated. You interlock them and deconstruct them when you want to take them somewhere to use. We come up with alternative roofing material. We come up with alternative ceiling material using bamboo, purely local content. And it reduces the cost of building drastically by about 40 to 50%.
That's all right. Okay, we are pressed for time, so we'll have to stop here.
Thank you very much.
Professor Samson Duna, Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute. Thank you for having coming on the spot.
I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me.
And thank you to viewer for always being there. See you next time.